Gonna start on inventory now. When this loads up, I need to get me a mic. I try not to talk too loud, but I need to get me a microphone for in here. But I'm gonna start on inventory. Gotta wait for my accountant to kick in, and then I'm gonna do all these books that we started doing yesterday. Like I said, I'm gonna take some of this and this, because this should be enough because these are extremely small. And one of these. These are the ones that are deformed and dented and stuff. I'm not gonna sell, so I'm gonna use them as testers. But the thing is, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was more, but what I did was, if the top was broke, I would put it with a broke, a broke bottom. And then if the top was good but the bottom was bad, I put them together. So these are all the ones that are truly deformed. So I added these 3 back into it. Ignore the dishwasher, got that going right now. And then we got some cheese bread, of course, and his is extra cheese with some pepperoni. I'm gonna be making a salad in a minute, but I made, this is my first time too, lasagna. What we looking like, we're gonna cut into it. Now this dish wasn't really like deep like that, so I had to force 3 layers into this, to be honest, to use all my noodles. I used about, I think like 4 this way and then 1 that way, so like 15 of these. And I had to cook them in 2 separate pans because we have really small pans. So let's cut into it. Okay. And this is how we looking. And of course I'm gonna top it off with some Parmesan cheese. And yeah, it's like so hot it's falling over. I think they did say you're supposed to like let it sit and let it get a little firm, but I don't know. So these are what the plates are looking like. are cuts in here. And all that grease came from the pepperonis because I got like 2 layers like full of pepperoni. And these are salads, so this is his salad, and then this is mine, just regular. And then I got some of these cheese and garlic croutons. And that's what we looking like. Okay, so the wick that I just tried did not work. What's crazy is I thought I was gonna have to start out really small with those Premier wicks, but it's crazy because I didn't. So I have from like 715 all the way to 760, 65 or something like that. So those are like the sample wick sizes that I have. So I use the smallest one that I have, which is 715. And I was thinking, oh, I'm probably going to 700 because these things are like extremely small. So I'm like, what? But they're 2 inches, and then my regular jars are 3, which is just crazy to me. But yeah, so I use the smallest one thinking they probably won't work, but at least I can give it a try. And what's crazy is it actually ended up doing good. I showed y'all a few times, but I just blew it out. I had it run from 6 o'clock till now 11. So it's been going for a while now. And it was doing pretty good. Smells good too, of course. It's the same formula, it's just different wicking in a different jar. So this is where it is. So it's not getting too hot, which I was worried about because it's a 10, which I'm glad about too. And we have a lot of wax buildup on the sides. And it's not too bad. I want to wick up at least 2, but I'm just wick up 1 just in case, you never know. So this is how it is, I believe, after what, 4 or 5 hours. So it's actually pretty decent. So I'm going to wick up to a 720 next and see how that does. And I just wicked it here. I just didn't show y'all it, but this is a 720 wicked. On this, flame was pretty high, and then it kind of died down. It's only been an hour so far. I just got done cutting all of these and counting them because I'm going to add these in my inventory system because I'm going to use these for my candles and my actual cost of goods, while the ones that I got from Avery, they look terrible. Like, they're okay, but since all of them don't look good, and I also don't have ones for every scent that I've tested already and added to my collection, these I'm going to peel these off, and I'm going to just write these all off as testers because I'm going to just put them on my candles for testers and whatnot, while the ones that they gave me for that partnership I'm going to actually use because the quality is so much better. So I'm going to rip all of these off and then just use these as tester labels and samples and whatnot. I actually found my supply right here for right now. They didn't send me the ones for Sweet Passion, so I was thinking about using just a Sweet Passion from Avery and then writing the rest of them off as testers, but I'm like, that just makes it complicated and I don't want to have to do all of that. So whenever I get my new labels in that I'm gonna have, because I'm gonna be testing a lot more scents to bring it for the next year, and I'm gonna have to get new labels, so I might as well just get some labels for Sweet Passion along with the new ones. sure when, but it extinguished itself. And this is my 725 that I made. And it cracked. That's crazy. It is really cold in here, but it probably cracked because I took this off kind of early, and that's fine. It's a test candle. I don't really care. It's crazy because usually my candles never crack. It could be because this is metal or something, so that like really, really cold, really quick. So that's crazy. But hey, and as you can see, all the dent up tins that I'm not going to sell, I use them as testers, in which I have 5. Okay, so I recently went through some of my stuff over here, and I found some of my old jars. So I got this Koji Cashmere here, and then I got this Tropical Pear, and this is one of the first scents that I had that would do this with the vanilla content, but it wasn't that bad. And I think because I only use 6% in these, found a recipe for this, but the wick for it wasn't that good, and I wasn't satisfied with selling it to people. So I just held off on them, and I just kept trying for a recipe. So what I did was I took one of these scents right here, in which I'm thinking about turning these back into 6% as well, because I think I'm using 7 or 8 right now, and that was only because with some of the supplies that I had, I only had one test. I only had one shot to make a test count and make it work. So instead of me using 6% and it possibly not working in a single wick smaller jar, I was like, you know what, I'm just going on the safe side and use around say 7 to 8%. And I'm thinking about decreasing this so I can use less fragrance oil, and it should still be fine because these are 6 ounces even when they were 1 ounce, even though there are bigger jars and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm still thinking about switching waxes possibly in the future, just to have a little bit of soy content in there. And I know that paraffin can give you headaches because I have allergies, and you know, sometimes it could bother my head as well. I'm thinking about trying a different wax, but I don't know because I don't want to be making and adding all these scents into my collection, using a different wax, and I change waxes, and now half of the scents that I usually, you know, use in my collection, I can't use them no more. So I want to go ahead and do that early, but then again, it's like I'm starting from the bottom with a recipe, so I don't know. And I have so many labels over here that I just got printed from a company and whatnot, and you know, if it's gonna be different, it's gonna say what soy blend or whatever. So yeah, and those just say paraffin, so I don't even have the labels for that. But yeah, so I just dug up the LX, I think 16 wick that was in here, and I put in a 750. So from how like my jars have been going, I'm assuming I should be able to single with this wax because it's the only thing I could do with it. It's a very soft wax, it's paraffin, and double wicking I had a terrible time doing. So when I when I switched to a half paraffin, half soy wax, I will be able to double wick it. But when I tried it before, it wasn't really working out. It wasn't really getting that much oxygen to the wicks, and the HTP wicks were kind of drowning because HTP are just really soft wicks. But that was actually the first recipe that I found for this jar, was the HTP. But it was it was leaning so much to where it would extinguish itself, so I couldn't use that one. But yes, I put a Premier 750 inside of these, hoping that it's gonna work since I'm going from like 1-inch dimensions, because this one is looking like it's gonna be a 725, 730, 735, and this is like 2 inches, this is 4 inches, so I'm gonna just be doubling it like that because it just seems to be working like that. I'm noticing a pattern with each inch of my vessels, so I'm hoping the 750 gonna work. So I have one in there now in the bathroom burning. It's been burning for about almost 3 hours. I have a 3-hour time set, and I'm gonna show y'all that, see how that does, because honestly I was like, when I was in here looking at my wicks, I'm like, you know what, I feel really confident about that, so I'm gonna try it because double wicking did not work. Okay, and this is it here. So we got a nice tall flame. 2 hours in, this is how we looking. So you know what, I was thinking that, oh, it's not gonna work and then like that, because with a bigger vessel, with needing one wick and stuff, like you're gonna need a larger wick, right, to burn it. And I feel like with that, you have a chance for a lot more soot and a lot more problems like that. But this has actually been doing pretty good. Now, I do have a bit of a mushroom here, but I'm completely fine with that. So I probably could go down to even a 745 or something. But you also got to remember, I'm wicking for the bottom, not the top. So it may be burning a little bit faster here, but that's because this is around 3 inches, like my other jars. This is around 3 inches, and this is 4. So we're going to have to wick for down here, you know. So when we get around here, it's going to take a little bit longer and a little more heat to get all of this. And then we still have a good little hang up over here. So you know what? This wick could be really promising for the wax that I'm using currently, to be honest. All right, so this is what we got here to our burn, and I realized maybe 2 wicks are necessary because we're getting really low with that wick and we still got a decent amount to burn. And we have a decent amount left on the sides. So this probably has to be double wicked. Even though I did really pretty good over here. That's what I was banking on, but the lower it's getting, I don't think it's gonna hit the rest of the sides. Like this one here, I took the wick out already, but it burned down nicely, but it's still a little bit of catch up on the sides. So I need to wick up, but my suppliers stay sold out of the next one that goes up from this. And I figured I'm probably just not gonna use these. I'm gonna try to write them off as a sample thing. So from now I know, like with stuff like this, is just in general, because I know with fragrance oils, I did that in the past, when you buy a big old thing of fragrance oil but you don't really like it or doesn't end up working, so now you have to sell it, find something to do with it. So I'll try to probably just honestly sell these and get my money back, or I try to write it off as what's it called, tester expense, because because the thing is, I know basically don't buy more than 1 or 12, like the lowest amount, because I bought a 50 pack and they don't match my stuff at all, I don't think, because I don't know, see, because right now, maybe because it's a little darker in here and there's no natural sunlight, but let me see, like, they don't match. It kind of almost looks like it, but it doesn't, because this is like a really dark color and this is like a lot lighter than that. You can't really see it right now, but yeah, so I'm gonna try double wicking this, because I do have, and I've already found recipes for this candle, like this jar, the double wick, but that's with a different type of wax. Because the wax I use right now, I don't have a double wick recipe that I can use for this yet. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I want more than one recipe, and I'm thinking about changing one, going back to these jars, because these saved me from not giving up and not having to change my jar, let me say species, what's it called? My jar design. So these made it just easier because they're single wick. These made it easier for me to just keep going with my design idea. Did I have to change anything? But when I started going through my stuff and cleaning up in here, because it looks a lot better in here, because I had stuff everywhere in here. So I cleaned up everything, which I do plan on putting some shelves up and stuff too. But yeah, so don't mind these. But so I got a lot of my lids, my fragrances. Those same test jars are here that I had, because I bought 36 of them, and then some shipping stuff down there. And I got more shipping stuff down here, my photography stuff. And yeah, and then some more boxes and shipping stuff down there. But I cleaned up and I found them jars, and I was like, you know what? I fell in love with those jars, and I still am in love with those jars. I'm not in love with these. These were just an excuse to, it's just a way for me to be able to stay on track with my whole apothecary design stuff. So, and it was single wick, so it helped me get off the ground a lot faster. But I still do love these. I love them, and I need to go back to these. And then also, not only that, so the only way I can pretty much probably get these to work is by switching my wax. So I gotta switch my wax, get some CD wicks, and use the recipe that I already have, in which I have a recipe for soy 10 too, but I just don't have one for this wax. And if I can make it work, I want to be able to, like, say this supplier's out or whatever, I can go back to this supplier and use this recipe. I want to have more than one recipe, basically. And not only that, too, because one, these jars, because the thing is, it's kind of a, what's it called? It's kind of a nightmare for my supplier chain, because, you know, like COVID having all that stuff, and suppliers was just like, there was a wick shortage, prices were going up. So basically, these jars, I could only get them from one supplier, and they be sold out a lot of the time. So that wouldn't be good for me when business start booming, especially during recruitment time. They be sold out. And also my wax comes from one supplier type thing. And then that wax is expensive. Like IGI 6006 is like $28 for 10 pounds. My wax, to get it shipped to me and everything, is $50-some. So it's around $20, $30. But to get it shipped to me is $56 or something like that. Just for a 10 pound slab. That's just too much. And only one person supplies it. So regardless, I need to have a wax and a recipe and jars, because everybody sells these jars. You can get these jars from anywhere, right? So I need to have a recipe to where it's easier for me to find a supplier, different people having sales and stuff. I can go shop around if I want to. If there's a shortage on one end, they got it over here type thing, to where I'm not out of luck because something's out of stock. So that's the thing. I want to be able to have different suppliers and have a choice in it. And my thing is, because I found some wax on eBay of the wax that I use now, and it was a little bit cheaper to get it shipped to me than from my regular supplier. So I was thinking about doing that, because I want to try. I have so many different samples that I did a review of that I'll link up there. I have so many. This is not even all of them. This is just the ones that I was going to, that I really approve of. And I think these are the ones that are okay. Maybe I just separate them like that. But I know these are the ones, at least, that I want to test on. I'm thinking, like, because it's like, I just found this recipe. This helped me get my business off the ground, because I actually have a working recipe that saved, especially going to Premier Wicks. Thank God I found about Premier Wicks and stuff like that, because that saved my whole, like, not to say I ain't, could make candles anymore. I could always change the jar and find a single wick jar. I could have always done that. I just didn't want to give up on this jar design type and its wax. But looking at it now, I should have tried something different. I don't know, because the thing is, I just found this recipe, and I found something that works, something that's simple and it's kind of cheap to produce. It cost me around less than $8 to make this candle, which is still kind of high. And honestly, even with my supplier or whatever, buying in bulk, they don't really have good bulk prices or free shipping or anything like that. So more than likely, it's probably not gonna go down that much. Like, some people can make their candles for $3, $2, because like with the IG 6006, you buy a 10 pound for $20, and then once you buy in bulk, you get you get a good bulk pricing on it. But with my supplier, just in general, you don't really have that, especially from where I get it from. They don't really have deals like that. Yeah, so my thing is, I just found this recipe, so I'm like, do I want to work on these in the background while I'm selling these? Because realistically, that's a 9-ounce candle, this is a 10-ounce candle. In my eyes, it doesn't make sense to sell both of them, because this ain't nothing but 1 ounce more, even though it will be double wick, so that is something there. I could go for the 16-ounce jar, so I can, make it make sense there. But regardless, it's the same as like a recipe, just a taller jar, But it makes sense to sell. But at the same time, if I'm doing a 16-ounce recipe, which is the same as a 10-ounce recipe, I can do both of them. So these are obsolete at that point, the 9-ounce ones. But that's the thing, I just don't want to feel like, because I just got this recipe, I don't need you trying to go back and do all this double wicking with this type of wax anyway, or even the other type of wax. The reason why I brought up the wax that I found off of eBay that was a little bit used, but it still was a good amount in this lab, because my wax is a really good hot thrower, which is why I wanted to find a good wick that did not soot for my candles and stuff like that, and which I found, which is the Premier. But now, with that being the case, because my wax is a good hot thrower, which is why I didn't want to give up on it, I want to go ahead and test more fragrances, because I do plan on trying to, probably especially during tax time, I want to try to do some ad campaigns, because I got my recipe, I got my branding down, I have good photos, I have good, decent, okay engagement, but I wanna strengthen my engagement, and I have good views, I have good numbers, but I need to put my myself more out there and I want to advertise more. So, and I'm thinking before I do that, is it okay to only have 3 or 4 scents, or should I have more scents available and then start marketing to where I can get more people in so they have more options? So that's my thing. So I've been wanting to get more scents in, test more fragrances to add more candles to my collection, and then start marketing. But my thing is, if I keep testing these fragrances with my wax and I go to 6006, I don't want to be, say I only got 3 fragrances right now. That's cool. I can test out 3 fragrances, no problem in that 6006 recipe to make sure they still work, to keep them in my collection, right? But I don't want to go adding all of these scents because paraffin does have a better hot throw. I don't want to, even though that's why I want to go, you can go Pro Blend 600. I wanted to go that route because it has more soy in it, so I can market that as a more soy candle, but I can still relate the other one as a soy candle even though it has less. But I feel like it's kind of weird, but I don't know. But people still do it. They still a soy blend candle, but I would feel more comfortable pushing soy blend if it was made more primarily of soy. But IGI 6006 is not, so that's why that one is harder to wick because it has more paraffin in it. But it does have a good hot throw still, which is why I'm choosing that one over Pro Blend. But yeah, so I think I do have a good chance of trying to switch my scents over to that wax type. So what I'm thinking about is I don't want to go ahead and add more fragrances that work with this 9-ounce paraffin recipe, add all those scents, have my customers liking my scents and stuff. And another thing too, but I'm gonna finish my first thought because I'm jumping around. I don't want to add all these scents with my paraffin wax and then try my other wax at whatever point, because I'm not really in love with those jars. I'm in love with these, and it's making me impatient type thing to just find a recipe for them. So I don't want to add more scents and then go to my other wax and it's like, oh, those scents don't work well, or only a few of them do, or none of them, God forbid, but you know, only a few of them do or whatever. So I don't want to do that. I want to just go ahead and test the ones over there that I have now, make sure my recipe is good for that wax too, and trustworthy in my jars with my fragrances, and then add more fragrances. And then before I start marketing, because I don't want to market too, and having people recognize these branding in these jars, when I plan on switching the entire time to a double wick version of this, even though I did get more attention and more engagement when I was using these jars. I'll be honest, I got so much more attention when I was using these jars, and then as soon as I changed them, I got less engagement, and I figured that. But hey, but I'm still trying. So I'm gonna take another one of these jars because I have 3 of these already. I'm trying to see, do I want to, even though it is best to start with a full candle, so I kind of want to use the half candle, dig up this wick, and then double wick it with the mirrors, because I could have sworn back in the day I already tried double wicking these jars. It just did not work. So I don't know, but I'm gonna try it again. I don't know, but we're gonna try it. So I'm gonna dig this wick up out this full candle here. It's the same candle as that, but this one is another full candle of it. I'm gonna dig it up and I'm gonna put 2 premier wicks in, and I hope that worked. But that's the thing, I don't want to find a recipe for this and then I still end up wanting to change it, because regardless, it makes more sense supplier wise to have my wax come from different places.